How's it going, class? My name is Chazz, Slatinsky. My biggest impact paper was over Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr., but what many of y'all know as is Muhammad Ali. I just want to give a quick overview of what we'll be talking about today, or what I will be presenting. I'll speak on behalf of when Muhammad Ali was born, when he began his boxing career, when he converted himself into the Nation of Islam and became a full Muslim, whenever he made some decisions on the 1967 draft, which caused him to be stripped of certain things and penalized. This also created him to become a huge activist in his beliefs throughout his time away from the ring. Muhammad Ali's actions caused him also to be a huge part of society, and many people looked up to, but also some people did not accept him. And then I will conclude with how big Muhammad Ali's death has been and continues to be in today's world. Muhammad Ali was not born as Muhammad Ali. He was born as Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. on January 17th, 1942 in Louisville, Kentucky. Cassius committed himself to the sport of boxing at 12 years old and saw much success in the amateur leagues at such a young age. But he didn't create this success alone. He got help from his mentor by the name of Joe Martin. Joe Martin was a local Louisville policeman that helped Cassius get much of his success in the amateurs and helped lead Cassius to winning the gold medal, being a gold medalist in the 1960 Olympics. After the 1960 Olympics, Cassius Marcel Clay Jr.'s professional years really excelled, and he would receive sponsors that would allow him to pay for fees, pay for fights, equipment. One of his biggest sponsorships was the Louisville Sponsoring Group, which Joe Martin was a part of, as well as 10 other white men that helped at this moment, Cassius, excel into his professional years. It wasn't until 1964 that Cassius became the heavyweight champion of the world, and you could really see him excel as the boxer that he continued to be. That same year is whenever Cassius started saying that I am the greatest, and talked about his fighting techniques are float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Those two phrases are some phrases that continue on and are continued to be said by many other individuals in today's society. It wasn't until 1964 that Cassius actually became what he named himself as Muhammad Ali. He converted himself into a full Muslim in 1964 as well. As Muhammad Ali was trying to practice his new religious beliefs and this new religion that he was, the 1967 draft came, and Muhammad Ali actually refused to be drafted into the Vietnam War. He refused to go fight because he did not believe in some of the things that the war was bringing. This kind of backlashed on him in certain ways, especially as a fighter and as a professional athlete. He would get named as a draft dodger. But one of the biggest things, or some of the biggest things that actually Muhammad Ali received due to this refusal was prison time. He was fined $10,000 His boxing license and title, heavyweight title, was stripped, and he was banned from boxing for an excessive amount of time, which those things didn't stop Ali from really telling why he wasn't going to go to war or his beliefs in war. Ali states, "My conscience won't let me shoot my brother or some darker people or some poor, hungry people in the mud for a big, powerful America. My enemy is here and not Vietnam." These comments really made Ali something bigger than I think he thought he was going to be ever, as I know that he knew he was going to be a huge professional boxer, I believe. These two comments made him bigger than any sport, and a lot of people praised him for it, but many really denied him, and he received much backlash from it. Some of the backlash that actually came his way was from another African American professional athlete by the name of Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson at the time was also an activist, but he didn't believe in Muhammad Ali's choices for his refusal to be drafted and go to war.
Hurting, I think, the morale of a lot of young Negro soldiers over in Vietnam. And the tragedy to me is that Cassius has made millions of dollars off of the American public. And now he's not willing to show his appreciation to a country that is giving him, in my view, a fantastic opportunity. Hurts a great number of people.
For those simple phrases and that act of refusal, Muhammad Ali was able to really create himself as an activist whenever he was out of the ring, whenever he was not boxing, whenever he was not labeled as this heavyweight title holder anymore. So he paid the charges. He did his time away from the ring, but I think because of that is what really built up something inside him to really come back to the ring with a vengeance. So 43 months out of the ring created, I believe, a lot of strength for Muhammad Ali to come back with. So on October 26th in 1970, Muhammad Ali's first fight against Jerry Query was his first fight back, which actually resulted in Query being knocked out in the third round by Muhammad Ali. Coming back and doing that for his first fight might have been shocking to others, but I don't think it was shocking to Ali because he was that type of boxer, and you'll be able to see that throughout his history of fighting. His second fight was on March 8th of 1971. It was this fight that actually was the chance for Ali to regain his heavyweight title. Ali actually fell short against Joe Frazier to anonymous decision. This loss gave Muhammad Ali his first professional loss ever. On October 30th, 1974, Ali was actually able to regain his title of the heavyweight champ against George Foreman. It had been 7 years since the heavyweight title was stripped from Ali, so this win was huge. After this win, Ali took off with his boxing career and defended his title a total of 10 times, which I'm not sure if this is correctly right, but I believe that is one of the highest times a title has ever been defended. It wasn't until February 15th, 1978, when Ali fought Leon Spinks, which resulted in Ali losing, but it wasn't until just 7 months after that fight, Ali and Spinks fought again, and Ali regained his title, which made him the first person to ever hold the hold the world heavyweight title 3 times. It was after that fight that Muhammad Ali planned to retire, but that retirement was disrupted by Larry Holmes and Trevor Berbick. Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali's fight was actually resulted in Ali losing, which took Ali's title away. And then Trevor's fight also resulted in Ali's fighting, which at the time Ali did not have his title, but it was 2 fights that these individuals wanted against Ali. Ali officially retired on December 11th of 1981 at the age of 39. But just because Ali was not in the ring anymore and was officially retired, he was far from out of the world's eye. But one thing that hit Ali probably harder than any punch from any other boxer in his time of life was life. In his time of life was actually life. In 1984, Ali was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. This disease causes unintended or uncontrollable movements of the body, and it really, I believe, played big factors in Muhammad Ali's death whenever he does pass away. Just because of this disease, Ali did not allow it to define him. He really began to show the world his light, even whenever he was having dark times. In 1990, Iraq's leader Saddam Hussein had taken thousands of foreign hostages after his country was captured by Kuwait. It was because of Ali's status of being the huge and monumental professional boxer, and also an individual that was willing to speak on behalf of his honest truth and go against what some people were afraid to, that allowed him to speak with Iraq's leader and showed him that things could be different. And due to this, it allowed Ali to speak with Iraq's leader, and which resulted in 15 African American hostages to be released. In 2002, Ali became a United Nations messenger of peace to talk with the UN Children's Fund and World Food Program on behalf of raising awareness for additional classes that may need additional lessons in them, as well as the needs of women's bakery and households. These were just a few of the things that Ali would do, but he became a world traveler and really showing the world what he believed in and what he believed world peace was. Because of this, Ali received many other titles like Sporting Personality of the Century, Sportsman of the Century, Fighter of the Year. He received many awards, not just off of his boxing career, but due to what he has created. He was inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame. He received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and he created what is now and still today a $60 million Muhammad Ali Center that allows his legacy to be shown throughout this center and what his beliefs were. Ali's life left many things behind. He died on June 3rd of 2016, but one of the biggest things that he left behind, or some of the biggest things, the biggest thing he left behind was actually his legacy, and his legacy allowed him to leave 9 children behind with his last name to take on throughout their lives. He ended his boxing career with 56 wins, 37 knockouts, and 5 losses. But what really I believe is one of the biggest things and that will be carried on forever is the testimonies and the awards that other people have been able to have and get because of him. William C. Rhoden, the writer of a book called $40 Million Slaves, states, "For me, Ali brought home the concept of principle that there was something greater in life than wealth. Though wealth has its place, there is something greater in life than fame, though fame has its place. He taught me in the right hands wealth and fame, the fruits of an athlete's success, could be used as a tool in the ongoing struggle." So because of Ali's actions and how he really showed that fame and wealth can be brought together for the good, he's shown others that they could possibly do the same. He's also allowed many people to create movies or documentaries about him. One of the biggest ones was a movie called Ali, which was conducted by an actor by the name of Will Smith. This movie actually earned Will Smith his first Academy Award for Best Actor that year. So I believe I can't speak of how big that possibly may mean to Will Smith, but I think it would probably mean a whole lot to us if that was our first one. So I could say Will Smith it probably means a lot. And then it just really, Ali's life and the things he did, I believe, showed and presented so much more than just a professional boxer or a good man, but it also showed others. And I would have to agree with a book called it's spelled Soiled Out, so we could say that. I don't know if it's sold out or soiled out, but this book makes a quote saying, "Activism has helped the black athletes get where they are today." Ali was one of the biggest activists in his time and still is in his time. So for an African American like Ali to present that, I believe it really shows that other black athletes that they can excel and they can continue to go forward even whenever some of the world may not agree with. Thank you for listening. Here are my references, and I hope y'all have a great day.